The conversation started when I snapped off the light one night. And the darkness, as Groom and I headed up to bed, reminded me of what it must have been like for my sister when she starred, had a minor supporting brief role in The Miracle Worker when she was probably 7 or 8, and she played a blind girl at, I don't know if it was the orphanage or just the school where Annie had taught. And so she would walk out every night during the performance onto the stage, and she had her blonde hair and braids, and she would say, "Don't go, Annie, away." And so I was thinking what it was like for her to be in pretend darkness every night as Groom and I were walking upstairs in the darkness. And then I started remembering all the performances I got to see as a child, because my dad was a choral professor and part of his job was mounting productions. And so I recalled that my brother, here we go, up the stairs, like we do to bed every night. My brother had been in the night Thoreau spent in jail. And I had a performance, I can't even remember what play I was in, but I wore a choir robe and I was an angel, so that was a one and only time in my life. So Groom and I were talking about some important and fun theater productions that we had witnessed in our lives. And pretty quickly we got onto the idea, I reminded my dad that my dad had put on Godspell when I was at some very impressionable age, maybe 12 or something, and I went and saw it every night of its run. So I went maybe 17 times to see Godspell. And I was telling Groom about this as we were brushing our teeth, and I was saying, here's how we brush our teeth. I was saying to him, as we were talking, I was getting very excited recalling Godspell, and I said, it was like the first time I realized how powerful musical theater could be like that. Because of course you get absorbed through the songs like Day by Day. And then there's all these, they're dressed up as hippies. And I was like, wow, these cool college students who are hippies are singing to me about religious stuff. And at the end, after they've done Turn Back, Oh Man, and they've gone through all the songs, at the end, in that finale, Jesus is up there, like on some scaffolding, being crucified. This is the international symbol for crucifixion. Okay. And I remember sobbing and sobbing. I would be sitting alone in the audience, 12-year-old. Jesus is getting crucified. Not sure where I was on the whole religious issue, but there was something very powerful about the whole thing. This is what I was telling Groom. And I would just sob, and I would sob every night. And I couldn't believe this thing was happening on a stage in front of me. The same thing happened the first time I saw Hair, by the way. One of those hippie shows. And I couldn't even believe that that guy was hanging up there on the scaffolding being crucified. And remember how sad it is when he's like, "Oh Lord, I'm bleeding." And Groom is listening to me and who's like, "Yeah, I totally remember seeing that and being terribly moved." And I said, but the part where I would really have to cry was when he'd go, "Oh Lord, I'm dying." And then I said to Groom, sing it with me, won't you? And at this point, Groom said to me, "Don't you mean to say, 'Oh Lord, I'm ready'?"